Here we have a new 2026 Ford Mustang. This one comes in the Ecoboost Premium trim level. Shadow black is the paint. And then we do have black onyx leather interior. This one also includes the bronze appearance package, which gives you these beautiful wheels I'll get to in a second. But the powertrain consists of a 2.3 liter turbocharged 4-cylinder made into a 10-speed automatic transmission. Front end here, we do get our LED headlamps and just a beautiful look there. The LED daytime running lights don't dance like that. That's just how my camera's picking them up. But love the badging on the bronze appearance package. Again, around these wheels, these are gonna be 19-inch aluminum, and I absolutely love that look. Just a beautiful wheel there. Now we do get passive keyless entry. And then to the door panel here, power door lock controls, memory seat functions. We have one-touch up and down windows on both sides. Power mirror controls are there. And we have blind spot monitors too. Headlamp controls, trunk release, hood release, manual tilt telescoping steering wheel. Love the pedals. They're kind of out of the way where you can't see them, but they look fantastic. And then here's our driver's seat. We get a power seat bottom with two-way lumbar support. And then our seat back, we adjust manually here. Now with that being said, I'm gonna move this out of the way. And then you have a nice look at the rear seat there. And you can fold that down by pulling here on either side, run longer objects through to the front if you need to. And then your lower anchors are gonna be right in here. And then your top tethers behind the seats themselves. So if you're actually trying to put your kid back here in the car seat or whatever, you are able to do that. Now I'm gonna pop the trunk from back here, or from up here, excuse me. And then your fuel filler right behind this cap, or behind this cover, excuse me. So you do get that lovely active performance exhaust. Here's the cargo space. This has the all-weather mat back here, so we can lift this up and then lift up underneath here. It's hard to do with one hand, so bear with me. And there we have what's supposed to be the tire inflator kit. Gotta find where that is. But there's a look at the back LED tail lamps. Again, they don't dance like that. That's just my camera. But listen to that sound. Really good note, I think, for a Turbo 4. Now to the window sticker, y'all can pause anywhere you need to take a closer look at anything. Huge thanks to Ford Lincoln of Franklin here in Franklin, Tennessee for allowing me to review this car today. If you're looking to find the best price on one of these closer to home, click that second link down below. It takes just a minute to fill out your information, and I'll make sure the local dealers are fighting to get you the best price on this or whatever new vehicle you might be interested in. There's a look at the front passenger seat. Trim there, lockable glove compartment. We do have wheel locks. And this does qualify for a lifetime warranty, so hit that link in the description to get to Ford Lincoln of Franklin site. You can check out more about that. But there's that 2.3 liter Turbo 4. Now before we hop in the driver's seat, I'm just gonna show off the blinkers. Now let's hop in the driver's seat. So nice leather wrap steering wheel here. I love the flat bottom look, and I just love the stance that the wheel has in general with the logo right there in the middle. There's the horn. Now over here to the radio for audio, we do get AM, FM, XM along with Bluetooth. We also have wireless Apple CarPlay, Android Auto compatibility as well. So navigation here, if you want to use that. And then your settings, you have your vehicle settings here. And then in your general settings, you can change your units of measurement or your language. And then my favorite thing about this car is going to be the My Mustang app. So you can go in here, go through your apps, auxiliary gauges, and then you can even set up a custom mode. So if you want to start by having, let's say, the steering in sport, and then the drive mode or the exhaust in track, whatever, you can configure all of that there, the auto stop, even the gauge layout, which I like. And then you can also change the gauge layout individually just by pushing it here. I always like to have it match the drive mode because I like to keep it in sport anyway, and I like that one. Track's a nice setup too, but just a lot of things that you can adjust in here. And then listen to that with the active performance exhaust. Literally, when I hit the mute, can't hear. Then you turn it on there, sport, track. So it's pretty nice. Now your driver assistance system is here, so you can set your adaptive cruise on, lane centering, change it to normal if you want to there. Your lane keeping system, all of that can be toggled right in there. And then I meant to go to features, and then that's where I just was. Apps right here, that's where you can see the Apple CarPlay, Android Auto there. And you can also scroll through here, and you have a few things you can see in this menu over to the right side, which I like. Now your AC controls are on the screen, but pretty easy to use. You can hit up the fan direction here, change all of that, and then your temperature can be changed here. You scroll through there, you can toggle like this. And then you can sync and unsync it in this screen here. And then set your auto there as well, fan speed. It's pretty self-explanatory. And then you have the heated steering wheel, and with this one being an Ecoboost Premium, you do get the 3-stage heated cooled seats right there. Backup cameras here, guidelines follow you as you turn the steering wheel. You get the rear sensors that you can see right there as well. Parking sensors, you can also toggle those. Down here, auto stop can be toggled here. Hit this, that pulls up that My Mustang app there. Traction control, hazards. You have a favorites button you can set up there. And then your defrosters here. And then the volume, you can mute there. You get a USB-C, USB-A port there that connects to the radio. 12 volt here, little storage tray while the phone's on the charger. And then the shifter, hit the brake, push in, reverse, neutral, drive. And then you have that limiter there. Electronic parking brake, pull up to engage, hit the brake, press down to disengage. Bottle holders, and then your center console cubby space. Does have a 12 volt in there. And there's a look at the back seat from up here. Sunglasses holder. The reading lights. Vanity mirror. And then back to the front, blinkers, high beams. And then you do have automatic wipers, so one time off, auto, low, high. You can adjust that auto frequency here, pull up for the fluid. Left side of the steering wheel, cruise control, toggle that. And then the lane keeping system, you can turn that on or off. Gap adjust for the adaptive cruise. You do have a limiter here, so if you're a speed demon, that'll keep you from going over a certain speed. And then you can set the speed there, cancel, resume. And then this is a shortcut to go through those drive modes: normal, sport, track, drag strip, slippery. And then you have that custom mode that I showed you how to configure earlier. And then your steering can also always change that on the fly, which I like. Voice recognition, volume down, volume up, and then track list, radio station presets are here. And then this goes through the middle part of the gauge cluster. You can hit OK when applicable to reset or things like that. Push button start. Finally, here's the key fob. But next, let's go ahead and take this 2026 Mustang Ecoboost Premium out on the road for a test drive. So starting the test drive in this Mustang Ecoboost Premium, Ford, ever since they released this 2.3 EcoBoost, it really has been a fun car to drive. I think when they first announced this, people were like, why are they putting a Turbo 4 in here? But Ford's 2.3 is it's a solid engine. It's relatively reliable, easy to drive, quick, fun. Over the years, I haven't had any complaints about it. And it just, it's kind of sad because GM had that 4-cylinder in the Camaro for a sec, and you know, then it got canned. But that was also, I think that came out in 2016. That was a pretty fun car as well. But this one always seemed a bit more stout, and I think that Chevy one was a 2-liter 4-cylinder. That was part of it. This 2.3, there's just so much, especially in this model year, that you can do to it, having it in track mode, sport mode, being able to change the exhaust sound. And it doesn't sound like a GT, but it does sound like a solid V6, like the older V6 Mustangs. I like the exhaust note better, the feeling of acceleration better. It's just a solid car, I think. And having this active performance exhaust is a big plus, in my opinion, just on really any car, but specifically this 2.3 EcoBoost. It really makes it night and day in terms of how it sounds. Yeah, I mean, from a stop, this thing just pulls incredibly. It's so quick, and you don't even have to give it that much because the turbo does a lot of work there. If you want to redline it, you can, but it's really not necessary in everyday driving. And a nice groan from the exhaust in this track mode. The ride itself, relatively stiff. It's a sports car, but comfortable. And more so with this this Ecoboost Premium trim level, having the heated seats, the leather, and all of that. And just a fun fact, I think I forgot to mention this. We do have an automatic brake hold that we can configure here as well. And I just now saw that, and I noticed there wasn't a button down here, so I think I forgot to mention that. But this car gets, I think, 22 city, 33 highway, which is crazy for a car with this much pull, this much performance, this much of a fun factor. And that's what really makes this trim level shine, I think, compared to the GT, which is still, it's still a Mustang GT. It's still fun, it's still nasty fast, but this is just a more practical Mustang option. And I like that you're able to get this here because people like myself who aren't trying to spend as much money as possible on a sports car, they don't necessarily need a V8 for nostalgia or something like that. They just want a practical car that is also pretty fast. This is just a great way to do that, especially to be under that 50 grand price point. And I think that's another reason why these still sell so well. try to open her up here when I can. Here we go. Oh man. I wish I could have done it from a slower speed, but wow, that was fantastic. Just it felt so good under throttle. It's just a phenomenal car, really. I want to give one more thanks to Ford Lincoln of Franklin for allowing me to review this Mustang today. I'll leave a link below in the description. If you're looking to find the best price on one of these closer to home, click that second link down below. It takes just a minute to fill out your information, and I'll make sure the local dealers are fighting to get you the best price on this or whatever new vehicle you might be interested in. But I mean, quick car, fun car. It's a beast, it really is. But I just love how you can get all of this for $45,000, a car that's fun to drive, that is relatively reliable, easy to handle, easy to, you know, drive on a daily basis, but also really fuel efficient. Specifically, if you're commuting up and down the interstate, getting 33 miles per gallon on the highway is it's insane. It really is for a car like this. So still probably a 9.5 out of 10, and really I want to give it a 10 out of 10. It's just that great of a car. So with all that being said, this will bring me to the end of my review of this 2026 Mustang EcoBoost Premium.